What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Sorry these videos are late. I started out the new year great with bronchitis. But hey, back to the action. What is up, people? What is up? Welcome back to Nephilim Entertainment. I'm your host, Metron Urel, and you are watching my coverage of The Gifted, and this is episode 11, 3 by 1. So, our group's, recovering after a nice little bomb that Esma and her sisters dropped on everybody. Apparently, she's part of this really hot and fantasy-like group of sisters that are completely identical, yet have the same power, telepathy, and they use it to have a bunch of humans kill each other. Great! Fantastic. Well, the episode really starts off weird because we're looking into a past that I'm not really seeing much significance about it. I mean, we know Blink, aka Clarice, she had a past about being discriminated and all this, especially since she looks like a fairy, but I think she looks cute that way. But anyway, not the point. Focus, Beta, focus. We get to look at her past and find out that there's actually hate groups that are forming and, taking up arms and forming a nice little, I guess you could say rallying against mutants, which we've seen that and we've known it to be happening. I would like to really focus on the fact that the sisters are talking to some mysterious guy, and apparently he's a broker for the Hellfire Club. We don't know much about him, and unless you read comics or watch any other kind of X-Men incarnation right now, Hellfire is kind of a mystery. I mean, we've all known it's like the secret organization, kind of like the Illuminati or the Freemasons kind of thing. And it's full, basically full of telepaths that are, in some incarnations are telepaths, in other incarnations it just means in general that sort of secretly plot and rule the world, basically. They have their own little agenda and their own little way of handling things. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this plays out into the storyline, especially since our darling sisters are part of this little group. And we also know from previous episodes that the Strokers were also part of the Hellfire Club. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. Well, right now, we're sort of dealing with a couple of funerals. Agent Weeks, who his funeral is being handled by our people at Secret Services, and Sonya's having her own, or they're having their sort of their own version of a funeral for her. Even though right now there's not really anything to do, because I'm guessing Campbell confiscated the body. But Turner gives Weeks a nice little eulogy, and then turns it into sort of a declaration against evil mutants. Look, first of all, sir, you're obviously hurt. They're gonna knock that. Second of all, your definition of evil mutants ranges with anybody who uses their powers. And I mean that quite vaguely is anybody who uses their powers, anybody uses them, for whatever reason, uses them, is evil. So in other words, if you're a mutant and you don't use your powers, Turner might not turn on you. But other than that, if you use your powers, you're evil. Yeah, I know, his logic right now, Turner has got such a black and white logic about anything, and I love what his wife said last time, was, what are you doing in the name of our baby? Yeah, I honestly, we need more of her coming in here smacking him in the face, because right now, he is like on the verge of being off hinge. Maybe he'll get his stuff together. Maybe. Maybe. But right now, John, for the Mutant Underground, he's having a bit of a breakdown. John's always been a strong character. He's always sort of, I don't know, sort of personified strength. The only time he's really shown weakness is around Sonya. But now Sonya's gone, so what is he going to do? Well, to make matters worse, The Strokers are now leaving. Yeah, um they're not too happy about it. Kids are mainly. The kids are not happy about it. They want to stay and help the Mutant Underground. The Stroker parents, Reed and Kate, are pretty much like, we need to tuck tail and run because everything's about to break loose. Yeah, that's probably the best time to not leave, is when all hell's about to break loose. But if you want to tuck tail and run away like cowards, be our guest. But yeah, as far as matters getting worse, of course, the sisters show up. They show up to Mutant Underground and offer sort of a proposition. Hey, they want to track down the Hound program. It's still running. We want to shut down. We know you want to shut down. When we get together, collab, let's do something about this. Nope, 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 nope. At least that's their response. I, for one, think the cute girls that have telepathy might be a good thing to have them on your side. Just saying. But I'm biased, especially since I don't want any telepath to be against me at this point, especially since we saw that they're willing to go the extra mile to pretty much hurt and maim people. But hey, that's just me. Well, Marcos and John aren't too keen on the idea, but to, I guess, sort of keep all parties content, because there's some people in the Mutant Underground that are for the sisters. Surprisingly, they're actually for them. They think they get the job done. They're saying, well, we got to think about it. We got to think about this whole pairing up thing because you're willing to take it in a way we're not really comfortable doing. Fair point. Sisters leave, give them a chance to think about it. And it just keeps adding up because now Turner is talking to Campbell once again. And Campbell's offering to show him sort of the Hounds projects and show him sort of what's going on underneath the cloak and dagger stuff. Fair point. Okay, you show us the works, we might trust you. At least Turner will. I highly doubt it, because I don't know. Even though Turner, to me, seems like a loose cannon, especially when it comes to mutant kind, he's got the idea of don't trust everybody. Just because they come to you with a handshake and smile doesn't mean they're somebody you can trust. Smart thinking, man. Smart thinking. So, we learned a little bit about the sisters, especially when we're starting to also learn about Andy and Laura. Andy and Lauren, they're not too thrilled about the whole prospect of not leaving. They don't want to leave. They feel like the fight should be there. Lauren's sort of taking sides with the parents because she wants to, keep all, because she's always been sort of the mediator for the family. And he's been sort of the roughneck, sort of rebellious one, and Lauren's always sort of kept the peace in the family, which illustrates a lot of their powers. And he's all about breaking stuff apart. Lauren's always about pulling stuff together. Really personifies their powers in a lot of ways. You have Andy, who is really good at breaking stuff apart, including keeping the sort of status quo, breaking that apart. Well, here comes Lauren, who can keep it together. And I gotta applaud her, especially with her brother, who has the potential of being a loose cannon. If something happens to Lauren, I can see him going off the hinges really quick, really bad. So let's hope for Andy's sake and everybody else's sake around Andy, Lauren stays around for a while. Just saying. And what we learned about the sisters is we learned that they have 3 different names: Cleo, Esma, and Phoebe. And they go by the last name Frost, which comic fans, excuse me, comic book fans, Frost. How many know what Frost means? Yeah, that's the same Frost. There is a Frost in the world of X-Men. She is a highly powerful telepath herself. This goes a lot back to the whole Chronicles and the comic books. The sisters, who jokingly gave their name as Cuckoo to police officers one time they're being arrested, it was a nice little Easter egg, considering that that's what they were called in the comics. The Cuckoos were actually clones of Emma Frost. So, with their last name being Frost, it's actually a good, nice little callback. So I applaud the writers for that. They're giving a nice little callback to the source material, all in one take, all in one scene. I applaud them for that. Thank you, people, so much for respecting the source material. Anyway, that was a little nice little tidbit for me. But carrying on, we find out the Sisters Frost, they've, been sort of hellraisers for quite a while. In fact, they have so many aliases that they're hard to track and hard to keep tabs on because they bounce around with different names. Sounds very espionage. Yeah, sounds very covert kind of stuff, which may say a lot about Hellfire in itself. But people are not happy about the whole Stoker family leaving this thing. Marcus, he's definitely not happy. He wants all people sort of upfront and attentive, and with the sisters sort of showing up, it's raising a lot of drama. People are starting to be tore, people are starting to be split. Not really much is looking good for the Mutant Underground. People are starting to, sort of segregate between each other, for the sisters against the sisters. And with the Stokers leaving, one of the two most powerful assets they have in their group, yeah, this is not looking good for the Mutant Underground. Meanwhile, Hound Project's being showcased by Campbell to Turner. You find out he's got a nice little sort of pet project where he is working on combining mutant powers and other mutants. That's not going to have any dire consequences. None whatsoever. No. Dude, you got to stop playing the mad scientist. You're starting to creep me out, especially since you're really showing a big fascination towards the Stokers in like some creepy uncle kind of way. I'm just saying. It's a little creepy the way you show so much obsession with the Stokers. But meanwhile, speaking of the Stokers, on their trip, they had to make a nice little midway stop to one of the underground terminals. And we actually run into an old familiar face. Wes. Dude, our little holo projector dude. What's up? If no one remembers Wes, he actually was a bit of a mild interest of Lauren's. He had a bit of a shady past that he kept hidden, and when Reed found out, I guess for protection of his family and his daughter, he busted him out. And instead of, Wes actually being a coward, he actually manned up and said, okay, look, I did this. I'll own up to it. And he did. And I guess to sort of make amends for keeping it a secret, he decides to go to a terminal, aka where we are now, and actually work and earn his keep with the Mutant Underground, which all works good. And now he actually gets reunited with our girl Lauren, and she's happy as can be. Look, I didn't like their story at first because I thought the dude was. If you watch previous recordings, I thought the dude was a bit of a creeper at first. But I have to say, the dude found his swag, and he actually pretty much impressed me. You got approval from old Uncle Meta here. Just treat a girl with some respect, and we're cool with you. Just take good care of our girl. That's all we ask. But Esma, she actually shows up and talks to Andy. And I have to say, that is very underhanded. She didn't use her telepathy other than, Center just basically telling him what he wants to hear, which could be argued that she used her telepathy, but I think she's really good at code reading people. She doesn't have to necessarily be telepathic to read what he wants, because, he's a teenage boy. And honest to God, if you're a pretty blonde walking up to a teenage boy, yeah, you're going to find out that there's a possibility. You already know what he's thinking. At least you might know what I'm thinking. Bad meta. Sorry. So, yeah, she talks to Andy and pretty much, tells him that, you got to convince the family to stay and fight. You're right. They can't hide like cowards. They got to stay and fight, blah, 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 rally the troops. And you think Esmond might make a little headway with Andy, but she's learned to cover her base because I guess one of the other sisters is now going to talk to Lauren. And Lauren is one person I'd be a little worried about getting up in the middle of the night. But all things seem cool, but they actually dropped something that I said in the first few of my videos, and I'm so glad they brought it up. They're talking about Lauren's father, or Lorna's father. Okay, I said in previous episodes, and I'll say it again. If you watch the comics, or read the comics, watch any previous X-Men incarnations, anytime Lorna's popped up, her father was one man, Eric Magnus, aka Magneto. Yeah, the Magneto. Sort of the forerunner for the Mutant Brotherhood, and he's sort of the one that is about smacking around humans and making mutants sort of the dominant species of the planet. Meanwhile, humans need to sort of cower and rip in fear. I Mutant Hear Me Roar is basically his anthem. He's sort of the polar opposite of Professor X. But Lorna supposedly has always been his daughter. So, with that said, and she's also got the magnetic ability. But one of the Frost sisters points out the fact that your body's changing, you're becoming stronger. It's because of the baby. Okay, so what does that mean? Is it a possibility that we have yet to see Lauren's true potential, which it has always been said she's powerful, and a lot of times she's always shown as a weaker version of her father, unless emotionally tampered with in some form, in some way. Then she showcases her power, and she's on par, if not stronger, than her own father, who is the master of magnetism. Yeah, I know. So, point being, let's focus. Alright, let's focus on this. What does this mean for the series? There's a possibility we're going to see, in a way, a team up, possibly with Lorna and one of the Frost and some of the Frost sisters. Okay, what does that necessarily mean? We're going to probably see kind of like an earlier version of Professor X and Magneto. There's a possibility we're going to see a lot more bloodshed, especially if any of the mutants come and attack her family, whether it be Mutant Underground or her actual biological family, including baby daddy. So, this is going to prove very interesting, and I love how they sort of dropped the fact that her father also was one of the founding members, or one of the members of the Hellfire Club. So, Wes Lauren, yeah, I love how they have a nice little bond and a nice little love story going on here. I love the fact too that Lorna is really relying on Wes because she's always been the strong one in the family. Like I said, she's the strong one in the family, holding everyone together. At some point, we know our girl's going to break. I love the fact that they're bringing up Wes because now she has someone that she can lean upon and give her strength from. It would be a nice one to be Wes because I'm personally starting to like Wes's character. He's really been a good foundation for her, and the dude comes out really good in a pinch. Speaking of which, Marcus. I love Marcus's speech because, in a nutshell, basically, the debate comes up of whether or not it comes up from his baby mama, Lorna, about why wouldn't the Frost Sisters be a good add-on to the team? Simply because the X-Men chose them, which that seems to be their righteous sort of mantra. We were chosen by the X-Men, yeah. Basically, what it is that he feels that if they start crossing lines, then they're no better than the people that are persecuting them. Good point, sir. I will applaud you for that. That is a very good point. A very excellent point, in fact. Is if they start crossing lines, then pretty soon the lines will get blurred. Now, what does that mean for their cause? It could put a damper and it could slow things down, but at the same time, they want to be better than the people that are hunting them. People that are hunting them, putting them in labs, chopping them up, splicing them, using them as targets, using them as decoys, using them as kamikaze weapons. They want to be better. So I applaud his speech for that. It would have been perfect if it hadn't been for the fact of a police raid. Somehow the police found out about the Stokers and their family and their group. And just when things are seeming like they just reached a high note of, oh shit, yeah, apparently the two mutants that they talked about fusing, they found a way to do it with some weird friendship bracelet. That's not a friendship bracelet, it's a big ass cannon strapped to two arms. And they're just like sitting here like, yeah, it's horrifying and it's crude and yeesh, it destroys half the building. And luckily, our boy Wes throws up one of his one of his illusions, and Andy, of course, is taken down. He's not out, or not completely out, but they take him down. So John and the crew are to the rescue. Well, long story short, basically, the group comes after a bunch of explosions, much of dramatic, like, oh god, what are we gonna do? John and the group finally show up. They rescue everybody to take off. Well, Andy finally comes to at this point, and they're like, "What do we do? What's going on?" The cops are everywhere. Well, someone literally puts an idea in his head, and he leads them to safety. Another by the Frost Sisters. So they basically become the saviors. They save the group, as all the girls have won over everybody with their nice little save. And they even had a nice little token of appreciation. They they only torment the guards. They don't kill them. They just torment them. So hey, improvements. Well, after it's all said and done, people get away. Turner and Cam are empty-handed, so they go to the senator, who's basically funding all the research and sort of offering his support to the Sentinel Services. It's none other than Motez, the senator that Esma was tracking at the beginning of her storyline. So, the senator's wanting to take everything sort of nationwide, and Cam was willing to go worldwide. Yeah. So there's a possibility that the Sentinel Services could be in other states, and not just other states, but possibly other countries, along with them using Hound units. This might not bode well so much for our group. Well, Stokers decided that they're going to stay put and stay in camp with everybody else and help the cause. Meanwhile, Andy and Wes are laid up, which thankfully Wes is now back with the group. Yay, so that means Lorna has her little buddy, and that's so sweet and romantic. And Frost Sisters come back as a success. They got the Mutant Underground on their side, but we do find out that they pulled a bitch move. Who do you think informed Sentinel Services and caused the police raid? They just so happened to be in the neighborhood around the time that Sentinel Services showed up. Yeah, Frost Sisters. They had a hand in pretty much a little bit of everything. I wish somebody would have told me they couldn't be trusted. Alright, up next for The Gifted. It will come on in 2 weeks. And found out something interesting too. Apparently Lorna and her father are going to be a big topic in this next episode. We're going to talk a lot about her father and her father's potential. I'm just wondering if we're not going to get a name drop. I mean, we've already talked about the X-Men, and the X-Men are probably going to get a name drop too. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody in the next episode is going to be sort of a herald of the X-Men, maybe. But we're going to talk about that. But it is the season finale, so I'm interested to see how all these storylines are going to coincide with each other. We're going to find out if Turner is able to let go of his thought of revenge. Is he going to be satisfied once everything's taken care of with the Mutant Underground? Is Reed and the family going to be able to get away? Is Laura and Andy going to embrace their Stoker way? I mean, we don't know what's going to take place. A lot of stuff to take in. A lot of stuff. But that's going to do a wrap for me. Question. Are you excited about the whole name drop with the possibility of Magneto showing up in the actual TV cineverse? Let me know down in the comments below. And should I just pull up at the top? That's going to be a wrap for me. I'm Metatron L, and you're watching Nephilim Entertainment. Be sure to give me a thumbs up down below and post a comment down below. Staying friendly. And subscribe to my page for more content. Stay tuned to the end of the video for more content. That's going to be a wrap for me, guys. Sorry I sound so terrible. Just getting over this illness. But to all you daydreamers and creators out there, keep your heads in the clouds. Peace.